Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime. In the last episode, we came here and defeated Thardas, a massive titan made of phazon-infused rock. A long boss battle because he had an extremely large amount of health, but a fairly straightforward one. Now, in this episode, we're basically going to be going through, because we've got a number of power-ups recently. The space jump boots, the wave beam, the thermal visor, and the super missiles, and now the spider ball that we got from defeating Thardas. And these have a lot of... Oh, sentry drones. These have a lot of potential uses in areas that we've been to a while back. So we're going to be going around kind of gathering stuff. I mentioned last episode, I'm going to make it more clear now, that ice parasites, ice shriek bats, oh, flying pirates, and ice, what's the final one? Parasite, shriek bat, and burrowers, ice burrowers, no longer exist in the game. This is because the places they're in, they've been replaced with different enemies. In kind of various tunnely areas where you would have seen like ice burrowers before, you're now likely to see things like sentry drones instead, having obtained the thermal visor and defeated Thardas. And additionally, if we kind of come down here to the ice ruins, these are the ice ruins west? Yes, west. Then we will see that thing down there. That is a adult Sheegoth that have spawned in various areas around Phendrana drifts now. And that's kind of, I guess, is the reason why shriek bats and stuff like that no longer exist. However, this thing is worth noting, this one's smaller than the adult Sheegoth we fought to get the wave beam, and also has a lot less health. They're pretty straightforward to kill. I mean, he says that, not actually really doing anything to it. There we go. They're kind of, I guess they're adults, but not like old adults. That one was made like the alpha Sheegoth that we fought, or something like that. Anyway, first of all, we're going to grab some stuff around Phendrana Drifts, so we're going to head over to the Ice Ruins East. So here, what we could do that we couldn't do before is if we, again, like in the other Ice Ruins, there's adult Sheeg. Oh no! Oh, I don't want to be down here with the bloody Sheegoth. Shit. I don't know why, they just kind of scare me a bit. Just 'cause any kind of like big enemy like that on games always kind of puts me on edge just because like you're like, oh god, it's seen me. Even though they're not really much of a threat, especially when you've got as many energy tanks as I have. But anyway, what I'm meant to do is come over here. These things still exist. Ice crawlers, I think everything here is called bloody ice something. Anyway, up here, spider ball rails. These were here before, but kind of well hidden anyway, but we couldn't even use them, and that gives us a missile expansion. And there's one more thing we can quickly grab in Phendrana Drift, so let's head back to, actually I don't even need to bother cutting, because I'm basically over there anyway. It's just back in the main Phendrana Drifts area, Phendrana Shorelines, I think it's called. Fun fact, I, until about a year ago, was pronouncing the name of this place completely wrong. I always call it Phenandra Drifts. And then I actually sat down and read it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm wrong. I hate that feeling when you realize you've been pronouncing something wrong. Not just even, the wrong pronunciation, but, you read it wrong and you read the spelling wrong and, it's entirely your fault. Makes you feel dumb. Anyway, if we cut... Oh, I missed that. Come over here to the Chozo Ice Chapel. We scan this thing. This is a cordite statue, is worn and weathered. Scans indicate the presence of a power conduit behind the statue. Awesome. So let's first switch to the power beam and give it a wallop with the old super missile. And it says there's a power conduit behind it. But if we switch to the thermal visor, it's not a normal power conduit, as in I can tell you for a fact, we'll try it anyway, but hitting it with the wave beam doesn't seem to do anything. So, instead, this is a slightly odd one, let's scan it. It says, something behind the wall appears to have been activated. And a kind of slot appears in the side of that thing there. That one's a really kind of odd one. You'd think it would be like a wave beam, one of those thermal wave beam conduits, but it's not. Anyway, we've come up there. Grab another missile expansion, so we're up to 80 missiles now, which is pretty awesome, but we're going to be gathering a lot more over the course of this episode. So now, we are going to go on one hell of a trek. We're going to go back through Magmore Caverns, back through Tunnel Overworld, to the main plaza in the Chozo Ruins. We haven't been there in ages. So, back here, there are a couple of things that have changed. Firstly, look at this. This was one of our first bosses in the game, the Plated Beetle. It's now just a calm enemy, well, not a calm enemy, a standard enemy, because it can be killed really easily. So that's why that was never a one-time scan, because it spawns here over and over again. So that's quite cool. Secondly, we haven't been here actually since we got the boost ball. So if we've got this little half-pipey structure here, if we use it... Oh no, if I mess it up... Oh wow, it's not a half-pipe, it's an entire pipe. No, if we head up here... We can grab a missile expansion, and there's actually another one we can grab here. There's loads of missile expansions around this level that we get at this main plaza bit that we get at different parts. But there's this tree. If we scan this bit of the tree, It says the tree seems to weaken due to cellular decomposition. Fire a super missile at this kind of bit of it there, and it opens up. Now inside there is a super missile, and it's a bit of an arse to get. You can drop in from above, but I find it's generally easier to jump and then like double jump up the tree, he says, but that's not going too well for him, is it? No, that's problematic. There we go, you kind of got to jump your way into that branch to the side. Dropping up from the top is not only slightly annoying, but also it activates fucking war wasps that are up there, and I can't be arsed dealing with those bastards unless I have to. Anyway, for now, we are just going to come through here. Oh, scarabs, fuck scarabs. Yeah, we're going to come through to the arena where we originally obtained the morph ball by defeating the plated beetle, because there's another 2 little things we can grab here as well, briefly. Firstly, there is this thing over here, this little bit. Oh, the plated beetle still here. He's still pissed off after his defeat, but as we saw earlier, now all it takes is a 1 charge wave beam shot. Oh, well, I said 1 charge wave beam shot there. 1 charge. Fuck him. Right, what I'm going to do is morph ball bomb over here. Because that's all we need to do, and we can just come through here and get a cheeky missile expansion. Because when we got morph ball here, but not morph ball bombs. So is he still out there? Oh, yeah, he's still out there. Well, we're going to ignore him because there's here as well. There's this kind of half-pipey section. So that was stupid, wasn't it? So there are actually 2 ways we can go here, left or right, and both lead to different places. So we're actually going to go right first up here. I should have stayed in morph ball mode because I need to morph ball through this tunnel and pick up another missile expansion. Not only is that a ton of them this episode, but there's a ton of them just right here in this room. So what are we up to now? 100 actually, precisely. And then if we continue along this side of it, I need to build up a bit more speed, and whoosh! Up here. Oh! That's annoying, isn't it? Can I actually just space jump up there? Probably can't. Nearly. Need the screw attack, but unfortunately that's not in this game. Up we go. Ah! What? I need to just... I've been a bit too overzealous with getting out of the morph ball, I think. Up we go. There we go. Let's just stay in the morph ball and we come through here. And then we hit spider rails, which bring us up here, and we can get to an entirely new area of the Chozo Ruins. And this bit is quite cool. But for what I'm about to do, you need a lot of missiles. Specifically, we have 89 out of 100. For what I'm doing, even if you do it perfectly, you still need at least 36 missiles, which means you need to have got at least 5 or 6? No, more than that. You need to have got a fair number of missile expansions in order to do this. So let me explain the deal to you. This awesome looking room is the Tower of Light, and the lighting in here and stuff is very pretty. But there are these kind of little bits around, these cracked bits, which are large stress fractures can be seen on the surface of these brimstone pillars. Brimstone means missile. Hit them with 3 missiles, and they'll crack. There are 4 on kind of each side of this place, and once you've destroyed all 4, something happens. But of course, each one takes 3 missiles. So you can see why it's starting to kind of drain missiles here. And 1 more. And the whole thing falls down, because that's how it would work. You weaken them all and they'd all crack in one and just fall down smoothly. But yeah, you saw something cool looking at the top, didn't you, as well? Now we actually get a couple of scans in here. Underneath us has now been revealed these little kind of holes opened and a plated puffer came out. So this is a mutated puffer with reinforced epidermis. Phasal exposure has created a mutant strain of puffers on Talon 4. They have developed a plated skin, making them harder to burst. Concussive weapons can still do the job, however. The gas within the plated puffer is just as deadly as that within their cousins. Yeah, so you need a missile to kill them as well, but usually at this point you ain't got missiles to spare, so... One other enemy here as well, a new one. This is... an Oculus, a wall crawler that generates electrical pulses. The Oculus exposes its single eye when active. The electrical field that covers it is enough to deter most predators. If the Oculus detects anything capable of presenting a real threat, it retracts into its impermeable shell. Fun fact, they're invincible. Hit them with a missile, bounces off. Their only function here is to make it hard, because they crawl over, of course, the cracked rock, and make it harder to hit. So, this is what I was talking about. If you don't waste any missiles, you need 36. In reality, you will bounce 1 or 2 shots off oculi, and so, like that, shit like that will happen. So you probably need to make sure you have at least 40. I have 65, so we're alright. But the trick is just basically watch what they're in, and basically if you aim at the opposite corner to the one the Oculus is in, you should be fine. As you can see, this goes on for a while, because if you look up, there are at least one layer of this. This doesn't actually trigger a cutscene this time, it just kind of cracks automatically. As well, each time when you go up, a plated puffer is released onto the floor where you are on. And the higher up you go, the more oculi there are. I think this is, I believe, yeah, this is the final one. And this has got oculi on every bit of brimstone. But we saw something at the top here. We saw something purple and cool, and it's one of my favourite things in the game. It's not... there are some certain circumstances in which it's really useful. Most circumstances, it's not at all, but fuck, it's always fun. So with that, final bit comes down, and we can bounce up there, and up here, and finally to the top of the tower, and grab ourselves... Fuck, I thought... Actually, it doesn't matter if you fall down here. So this is the Wavebuster acquired. Fuck, I love that name. The powerful attack uses missiles while active. Using the wave beam, hold down B, and basically, it's the same concept as the super missiles, but instead of using it on the power beam, we use it on the wave beam. So, charge up a shot, and press minus. Blah, 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 blah. That drains a lot of missiles, as you can see, while it's active, and it also costs 10 to activate. But it will keep going as long as you have missiles. Another reason why I'm always stressing how it's useful to have missiles. And it's really cool. Because you can't L-target while doing it. Instead, it automatically L-targets for you. So say there's an enemy close to you, the Wavebuster will just attack the enemy closest to you. Once that one's defeated, we'll go to the next one back from there and kind of chain around like that. Very useful if bosses have weak points that are hard to target, like Thardus or something. Ooh, that's a lot of missiles, I'll take them. Like if you're fighting bosses that have things that are hard to target, or just like if, say, you need the thermal visor or something to target a thing, you don't want to fire it up, use the Wavebuster, or if something's just moving quickly. In the same way that the wave beam's charge shots are useful, the Wavebuster is incredibly useful. It'll be a fun time to test it out against some war wasps, because we've got enough missiles to burn through. We're still going to be doing some more exploring around Chozo Ruins for the rest of the episode, but this will be a good chance to take the Wavebuster for a spin, and if I get a chance to fuck over some war wasps, it's always fun. So, observe the war wasps, they're all around us, and then... Oh, so much fun. But the missiles are low and I still do need missiles for future stuff, so enough of those electrocuting fuckers. Let's now head all the way to the Sun Tower, the room from which we access the Sun Chamber. So, I slightly misspoke there. I said this was the way we got up to the Sun Chamber where we fought Flagra, but this actually isn't. This is how we got down from the Sun Chamber where we fought Flagra. Because actually, when we finished Flagra, we actually couldn't make it back up there, because as you can see, there is a spider ball track there, which we couldn't access before. So, we can get back up there through the spider ball, but, however, there's a lock partway up, and it's a decorative object obstructing the path along the magnetic track. 4 runic symbols adorn its surface. Matching symbols within this area must be scanned to gain access. So, these are fairly straightforward. There's one here on the back of this pillar. Then on the back of this pillar over here, there's another one. But that's only 2 of them. The other 2 are slightly better hidden. Behind these, cordite wall hangings. There's one there. And there's one there on the other side of the room. Obviously, it'd be kind of useless you coming here if you didn't have spider balls anyway, but you also need super missiles to kind of crack through the cordite, which is kind of cool, I guess. You'll notice there are a lot of materials with their names in red, which you need a certain thing to blast through, like sandstone for morphball bombs, brimstone for missiles, and cordite for super missiles. There's one more we can't actually do yet, which is bendesium, which I've not actually shown you, because we can't even get past it anyway. Right, now this bit's a bit of a test of our spider-balling skills. Right, so if you touch one of those, I think they're oculi again. Yeah, they are. Touch one of them, you'll fall off. What we need to do is use bombs at the right time to launch ourselves up. So if I drop me a bomb there, hold up. Oh, for fuck's sake. Drop me a bomb there. And, no, I need to actually be holding forward, so I hold forward. Oh! This is going to get infuriating, isn't it? I don't know how long I've got left, because this episode's going to be so heavily cut. I don't know if this is going to be a long one or a short one. Anyway, there we go, that's the jump. That one's relatively straightforward. However, the blocks that we're on now, not only do they have spider ball tracks, but they are made of sandstone. So, as you can see, fucking morphball bombs destroy them. which just adds an extra level of irritation to this. As you can see, they do come back, but it just... Oh! I keep being right on the arse end of that thing's hitbox, and I don't think it's going to hit me, but it fucking well does. Right, there's your little window there. And then here, we've got to quickly hop in, drop bomb, and transfer up. And rinse and repeat. And then... I think we can actually... I have a feeling yeah, we can... There's nothing stopping us getting to the sun chamber than... Nah, okay, that wasn't that bad. There's nothing stopping us getting to the sun chamber the normal way, so I'm not entirely sure why I'm going around this way. I guess I'm just going to show it off since we've got spider ball stuff. There must be something blocking you the other way, otherwise why would they even bother to put a trap on this way if you can just walk around? But I suppose we're in this part of the Chozo Ruins anyway, so this is basically, as we can see from the map, this is a kind of conduit between the two parts, and we're over on this left-hand side, so I guess that's why I'm doing it. Anyway, come through here. Did you see that? Were you looking very carefully? Also listen. That's not a very normal sound, is it? Some weird shit's going on. Now, who remembers back to episode 5, I think it was? When we were in the Artifact Temple and we scanned one of those things that gave us a little hint. It talks about angry Chozo spirits in a great sun chamber. Because here's a new and infuriating enemy. These little things now, when they settle down, we can scan them. These are... Great character design. If you look at the two little example bits on the left and right, these are aberrations, Chozo ghosts, spectral entity, bioelectric field, invulnerable to natural energies. As these entities phase in and out of existence, the only way to track them accurately would be with X-ray scanning. This partially phased nature makes them invulnerable to natural energy types such as fire, ice, and electricity. Their aggressive and erratic behavior is most likely due to the corrupting effects of phazon in the Talon 4 environment. They appear drawn to Chozo religious sites where they wreak havoc upon anything that dares enter the area. So, Chozo ghosts, a couple of things about them. Firstly, they will now only appear in certain areas. They won't just be all around the ruins. It's only certain parts of the ruins that they will haunt. Let's say kind of particularly religious places for the Chozo. As you can see, they phase in and out of existence, which makes them annoying to target. They take a lot of hits as well. Basically, so it said there that they're kind of immune to elemental attacks, so the wave beam is no good here. But the charge beam, is the only thing that will hit them properly. That's one kill. When they kind of look like they're falling back in slow motion, that's them kind of being put to rest. Because so I don't know actually if missiles work on them, but because the charge beam works on them, that means that super missiles do as well. But as you can see, they're a real bugger to track around because of the way they phase. Aha! Right, there's one up there as well. And they shoot balls of energy at you that kind of fuck up your visor. I'm going to try super missile on this one. Boy! I don't even know what happened there. Super missiles are a bit of a gambit. A gambit against them because they can there we go, killed that one because they can teleport quite quickly. So you've got to make sure you lock onto them just as they appear. Your radar still works for them when they're visible, but once they're invisible, they go off your radar as well, which is... they're a really annoying enemy to fight, because they're a kind of guaranteed spawn in certain areas, and they are very difficult to ignore. You kind of have to deal with them when you see them. That one should be just about dead. Nope, still going, are we? There we go, he's right in the center now. But I'm not going to get around to him in time. Nope. Ugh. Oh, dear me. Dear me. Where has this one gone to? Oh, it's over. Ugh. They kind of don't seem to have any predictable pattern, nor do they particularly come near you. They might just, like, fuck off wherever the hell you want. Anyway, that's got to be this one nearly dead. Yeah, there we go. I mean, are you dead? Or are you just moving in slow motion? There we go, that took a long time. I think I broke the game somehow, because it's just death animation didn't play. It was just doing its idle one, but not taking any damage. But, if you remember, the clue from the totem in the Artifact Temple was that we get an artifact from putting the Chozo spirits to rest in the Sun Chamber, and indeed we do! We get the Chozo artifact of... Come on, tell me it. I do love that jingle. Da, 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 da. This is the Artifact of Wild, the 4th of 12, though we skipped out the 3rd of 12. Can't remember what that is, but we'll get around to it later, I'm sure. And we get a little silver thing for it. Anyway, 2 more things to clean up quickly around the Chozo Ruins. First things first, let's head to the... Actually, 3 more things. Let's head to the Ruined Fountain. So here, there's this fountain. We couldn't do this before defeating Phendrana because the fountain was toxic, but now if we hop in the fountain, it fires us up into the ceiling. Make sure you're holding Z there because you need to get onto the spider ball rails, which was the other reason why we couldn't do this anyway, even after defeating Phendrana. But this leads us, can you guess what this is going to lead us to? The same thing that almost everything this episode has led us to. Indeed, a missile expansion. Now, let's head to the Gathering Hall. So, here in the Gathering Hall, this kind of platforming section is a lot easier now we've got the space jump boots, because we can just basically skip most of it out. If we come up here to this kind of like top door, then we jump on these lights, jump up here, and we can just bomb through there, and grab a missile expansion. That one fucked me over a lot as a kid, because basically, I thought if we come down here, you will see that we can actually scan... Oh, the shriek bats are going to get me. You can scan these lights, and it says, luminescent cylinders functioning at 80%. I was sure to open that gate up there, you had to do something to both of them, whether scan them or destroy them with missiles or something like that. But no, you just have to jump on them and just bomb through that thing, but that grate just didn't look right for bombing. Anyway, one more final location. We need to go down here, and we need to go through the watery hall through to the dynamo. So the last time in the dynamo, we missiled through that thing over there to get missile expansion. This time, what we can do is jump up here, and surprise, surprise, spider ball tracks, which lead to, surprise, surprise, a plasmite. No, they lead to, of course, a missile expansion. And with that, that's us done for this episode. We have done everything I wanted to. I don't know how long this one's going to be, because I haven't really been keeping track of time. But I just knew I wanted to get all of this stuff done in one episode, because I only wanted one episode of gathering crap. Most of it is missile ammunition, expansion, that's the one I was looking for. But there are a couple of useful things in there. We've got another Chozo artifact for our collection, which brings it up to 3. And we've got the Wavebuster, which I'm sure will be hilarious, if not actually useful. Next episode, we'll still be staying in the Chozo Ruins and exploring areas, but it's not going to be like exploring hidden areas that we couldn't get to before for like missile expansions. Instead, it's actually going to be accessing entirely new areas of the Chozo Ruins where we're actually supposed to be going now. So I hope you'll join me next time. I have been the Doctor with the Infamous Gentleman, and yes, I'm just walking to the save point. That's where I'm going, if you are wondering. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time. Good day.